Hi everybody, Robin here at Toadstool Tarot, and today I am tackling the hashtag challenge brought to us by Kelly Bear called 54321 Tarot. The first prompt is 5 decks. So for my 5 decks, I've chosen the ones that I drag with me to my favorite cafe in my black corduroy shoulder bag to read with every day. And the first one in that group is, if you hadn't guessed already, my Open Face Tarot. This one speaks to me like no other deck does because I channeled and created it. And it's got some cards that really relate. For instance, the Hangman, the Emperor, and let's pick another one. Oh, why not the Fool? The second deck is the Old Fellow Tarot, which I keep in a little purple velvet drawstring bag. These are the backs. And 3 cards from this deck to show you. The third deck out of 5 is not clearly titled. One of the many non-specific titles to it is the Surreal Tarot. You can see all of these in walkthroughs on my channel. Oh, these are the backs. I love these because of the color and the autumn feel for me. Right now, these are the decks that I'm using right now in this month of September, in this season of autumn. The fourth deck is the Vintage Tarot. This is another one where the title's not really definitive, but you can find it on my recent walkthroughs. And here are 3 cards from this deck. Then, let's see, is that 4? I believe so. So the last one, which I keep in this little brocade drawstring, is the CS Tarot Pocket Size deck. And here's 3 cards from this deck. Prompt number 2 is for 4 books on tarot. First, I'm recommend this one. I just started teaching tarot to a couple of my friends, and I recommended this book to them because it has pages dissecting each card. You can look at a card, and then on the opposite page, it looks at various symbols in the card. And I think it's a really good reference point for people delving into the symbolism of the RWS, and it's called The Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite Tarot by Johannes Weibig and Evelyn Berger. The second of 4 books, I don't have a physical book. I have them on my Kindle. 78 Degrees of Wisdom from Rachel Pollack is a good beginner's book, and The Holistic Tarot by Benabel Wen, which is an encyclopedia full of just about everything you'd ever want to know about the tarot. And for the 4th book, I actually chose not tarot, but a Lenormand book. This is my favorite Lenormand book, The Enchanted Lenormand Oracle Guidebook by Caitlin Matthews, which came with this deck in a box. And I found this one to be the easiest and most accessible in terms of learning Lenormand. You've got an illustration on each page with plenty of explanation. Makes it very easy. She writes very well. So that's my 4 books. 3 spreads. I tend to do open spreads, so I can't really show you here, but I can just explain. I do every day 3 cards in a row, and I tend to work from the center out. So the center card is me or the question of the moment and what energy surrounds that on either side. It could be past, future, it could be people around me, situations around me. It's very open. I kind of read them all together, but I do kind of focus around the center card and work my way out. So yeah, I do daily 3 card spreads. On rare occasion, I want to spend more time in a spread, and I'll do 2 other variations on what I call the inverse pyramid. So do 3 cards on the top row, 2 on the center row, and 1 on the bottom row, and they all relate in pairs and combinations and sort of siphon their way down to coalesce in whatever's in that base card. I also do, if I want to spend more time, I'll do a 5-card version of that, which is 5 cards, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So it makes a larger inverse pyramid. Those are my 3 spreads. There's no designation to the position of a card. It's all in how the cards relate to other cards on their row and in pairs either side and or above or below. So you look in couples, couplets and triplets of cards, and you get a general feel of what the reading is. And generally speaking, it basically boils down to that base card, that single card on the bottom. But all the cards up from there kind of coalesce and siphon down into that. So number 2 is paraphernalia or tarot habits. Okay, when I go with my shoulder bag and all my cards, I go to a cafe and yeah, I've got a table there, but just to make sure that there's no sticky residue from food or drink, I always throw down a tarot cloth. This isn't really this is a pashmina or what, a scarf or whatever, but I use it as a tarot cloth just as a barrier between my cards and the table's surface. It also, I recommend tarot cloths of any kind because they make it easier to pick cards up off of a slick, hard surface. Otherwise, you may have to like scrape them off the edge of the table. They're hard to get your fingers under the edge of the card, but not so when it's on a cloth of some sort. So that's one bit of paraphernalia that I always use when I'm in a cafe. The other one actually is a habit, and that is that I tend to carry the 5 decks in my bag, and I always consult all 5. Now, people don't usually tell you to ask the same question of different decks, expecting to get different answers. I don't exactly do that. I don't expect different answers, but I do expect different perspectives. And I find that different decks do give me that. And I like to see, since my 3-card open readings are so brief and I don't spend much time with them, I go from deck to deck through all 5 decks and see if I gather some sort of consensus from the 5 decks, or if certain cards are repeat themselves from deck to deck that draws my focus to those cards. So that's the way I work. And generally speaking, it's like my question is, what do I want to know, or what do I need to know now? Or do you have some information I should know about? Tell me something. And it's as general as that. And I look and see what the cards have to say, and they usually guide me and tell me what to keep an eye out for, or how to change my mode of behavior or thinking to best accomplish what I need or want to do in the next few days or in the next brief course of time. That's kind of the way I work with that. The last prompt is a tip or a significant card. Most people know my significator card, so I won't go into it. But my tip would be, I had a card just picked to show you. My tip would be, if you're starting tarot and you're discouraged by the little white book or by what other people tell you how to use the tarot or how not to use the tarot, throw all that aside. There are constraints, there are preconceptions. Some people have preachy guide rules, and I would say follow the example in the Fool, which is the first card in the deck, and it's an invitation to go on a journey, which is what tarot is all about, a visual journey. So I would say take all those rules and regulations, guidelines, preconceptions, anything that might stumble your way along your journey, set them aside, put them out of sight, out of mind. Just look at the cards and find your own way on your journey. It should be a joyful, playful one. And as you make your way along, you may be compelled to do a little bit more research, and you pick up bits of information piecemeal along the way, little souvenirs that enhance your journey, and that's how one best learns tarot, I think. So that's my tip, and I think that covers all 5 prompts. Kelly Bear also said that if you like, as a bonus, you can tag 5 friends. I don't know if I'll do that or not, but thanks for hanging out with me and running through this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tarot. Until next time, bye-bye.